What's up, y'all? This is your boy Jackson. Welcome back to the Drop That Podcast, where we're going to dive into some wrestling talk on this episode. But first things first, in wrestling talk, because so much shit has been popping off in the last week or two, we're going to dive into our segment. Usually we do it at the end of the episode. We're going to do it right from the fucking jump. And it's called Who You Got. And it's for WWE's Crown Jewel going down this Saturday in Saudi Arabia. You can watch it on Peacock. If you're outside the country, you can watch it on the WWE Network if you still fucking have that account. I don't, but whatever. So, we got a fire card, 7 matches going down. We can go from the bottom to the top. Let's get into it. First match, we're going to get into Bianca Belair, former champion, challenging Io Sky for the WWE Women's Championship. I'm going to say I got Io Sky. They did an incredible match. I believe it was for the Raw Women's Championship going down at Backlash when they were in Puerto Rico. Everybody was jumping on Io Sky's ass. They loved her. She did an outstanding job. She just didn't get the match. Now that she's Women's Champion with Damage Control, yeah, I don't see Bianca Belair really getting that title. Not right now, per se. It's too spicy in the women's division right now. And we don't know what's going to happen. Right now, there is no hype going on for this rematch. For the returning Bianca Belair, now trying to get her title back. There is no big hype on it. I feel we are going to get Io Sky retaining the championship. And quite a possibility, a debut from a certain superstar recently signed, not too long ago, by the name of Jade Cargill. I see her coming. For some reason, I see her going to SmackDown. It hasn't been confirmed yet. Rather, she's on Raw, NXT, or SmackDown. I believe NXT is a little bit of a small pond. It's development. I don't think we need a development for Jade. I think we could just shoot her in right to the main roster, but it's a little overly crowded at Raw that we don't really need we don't need it more crowded than ever. We need more talent going over to SmackDown. You got Charlotte over there. You got Bayley. You got Io. You got Dakota. I mean, it's open. It's open season. And now you got Bianca actually back. And, you know, Jade and Bianca are probably two of the most athletic, well-known superstars I know as far as women wrestling is concerned. Yeah, I say Io Sky retains the women's championship, but we might get a debut, possibly, from Jade Cargill. There's nothing bigger than Crown Jewel. That Saudi Arabia money is fucking sick. I think we might get it. Give it that big bucks. The only thing is, I don't know if we get all the revealing skin, muscles, showing the sexiness out of Jade Cargill. I don't know. They tend to really be against their religion when they do shit like that. So most of the women have to be like in a full bodysuit and all that. I don't think it matters, but who knows? Maybe we get Jade there. Maybe we get her at the Survivor Series. Moving along, Women's World Championship. The number one wrestler, women's wrestler in the fucking world, well deserved, Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley of Judgment Day defending the Women's World Championship in a 5-way match. Not 4, not 3, 5. Against the returning Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and Raquel Rodriguez. Killer. All 5 of these women are fucking killer. I think there's so much potential going on in the women's division and over on Raw. So many stories. I think that this is what we needed when it comes down to Rhea Ripley's championship reign. We needed dance partners. I mean, it was great to have Zelina Vega get her moment in Puerto Rico, but we all know, fresh off of a huge WrestleMania match with the Queen, Charlotte Flair, you're not going to really get that, you know, like a huge 5-star match afterwards. But you know, with Judgment Day and cornering Dominic Mysterio, helping Damian Priest and Finn Balor win tag team championships back to back, you know, it keeps her name going. You know, it's just she needs that good dance partner. I felt Raquel and Rhea would have been perfect for SummerSlam. Due to injuries, it didn't happen. But now this is where I feel like Rhea could shine. And yes, I am taking Rhea Ripley, retaining the Women's World Championship. But I feel like this is going to be a crazy match. There's no reason why this match shouldn't be like, there's no reason it shouldn't be a candidate for match of the event. Like top 5 matches. You know what I mean? Top 5 match, or at least top 3. You know, this is great. You know, Zoe's coming up. Great storyline with Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch. Shayna Baszler just sent her best friend Ronda Rousey packing over at SummerSlam. Raquel Rodriguez literally coming back from injury. She needs that boost in her name. Nia Jax fucking clearing out traffic and blowing heads right off their fucking necks. Returning, giving everyone a women's version of the Banzai Drop, aka Yokozuna. Yeah, I mean, Nia's perfect coming back. This was a perfect moment for her to come back. I think she's gonna shine all the way to Royal Rumble. Who knows? She might win the Royal Rumble. I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't put her in talks of a WrestleMania match come WrestleMania 40. Win the Royal Rumble. Who else should be winning the Royal Rumble? You know, I mean, they say they want Jade Cargill. You know, some people want that, but it's like, let her build a fucking story. Come on, she hasn't even had a match yet. Let her build a story. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that she didn't get to do in AEW. There was no dance partners. Scratch that. There were plenty of dance partners. It's just they weren't giving it to her in AEW. Like, she didn't get the Thunder Rosas. She didn't get the what was it? She didn't get the Dr. Britt Bakers. You know, she got Nyla Rose once, but it was like so much potential wasted over there. You know, they had no answer for her. They had no story to do it, you know. But I feel like in WWE, you got plenty of dance partners where she can build from. Don't have to just win the Royal Rumble. For what? Build. There's an NXT Women's Championship. There's a Women's World Championship, WWE Women's Championship, Women's Tag Team Championships that are still going. You got plenty of time. Don't need to be going into the big show right now. She needs to prove herself. I think 5-star matches is what she needs. So I have Rhea Ripley retaining the Women's World Championship in the 5-way match. Moving right along, we got Rey Mysterio defending the United States Championship against YouTube sensation / boxer Logan Paul, fresh off his win against Dylan Dennis. It's not the popular vote, but I do believe Logan Paul claims the U.S. title. Not because Rey Mysterio doesn't deserve to perform in a Saudi Arabia stadium in front of the fans over there. I feel like he should. I think he's been doing a great job bringing that U.S. championship to high levels. But in the end of the day, it's kind of blah as far as, you know, bouncing around. You know, I mean, it didn't look like they were going to give him that belt. They were going to probably give it to his boy, Santos, over there in the LWO. It's just, there's not great stories. And I thought they were going to lead to a story where you'll see U.S. champion Rey Mysterio versus NXT North American champion Dominic Mysterio. That rematch everybody wants, champion versus champion. I thought we were going to get it, but I don't feel like it's going to happen anymore. It doesn't need to. We could wait. Shit, we can wait. We can let that shit drag all the way to WrestleMania. You know, do part 2, father-son. But as of right now, I don't feel like it's necessary to keep the U.S. Championship on Rey Mysterio, keep it going, because let's say you beat Logan Paul, then what? This was the issue where I thought was kind of weird when Rey Mysterio beat his son at WrestleMania. After he beat him, what do? It turns out that taking the L for Dominic was probably the best move for him, because it propelled him higher levels than he's ever seen before. Ray was just, doing, appearances here and there, and then now he's won the U.S. Championship. This could be a great match. I see bigger things happening if Logan Paul wins the championship. I mean, there are so many stories that could be done. It can make him more active. I don't think he needs to go back to boxing. There's nothing over there to do as far as boxing goes. But what he can do, which has been rumblings in the behind the scenes, is working on a 5-star match with Kevin Owens. I could see Logan Paul defending the U.S. Championship in either Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble against Kevin Owens over there in SmackDown. But I got Logan Paul winning his first championship in WWE, the U.S. title. Moving right along, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, facing Senor Money in the Bank, Damian Priest, one half of the Undisputed Tag Team Championships over in Judgment Day. Now, when it comes down to this, I have like a little theory that could possibly happen. These are two great competitors having great years this year, and high class matches, great moments. Cody main event at WrestleMania. He didn't win, but he main event at WrestleMania, something he never done. He's beaten Brock Lesnar 2 out of 3 times. He's been doing great matches, great promos, winning the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. And then you got Damian Priest, who over there in Puerto Rico for Backlash, he just made that moment of losing to sensation artist Bad Bunny like it never happened. You know what I mean? I felt like Damian Priest carried Bad Bunny in that match. Obviously he did. Great moment for him. I mean, I felt like if you were going to do something like that, you could have put it in the main event. Would have been what the crowd over there in Puerto Rico wanted. But it was entertaining. It was entertaining. We got to see Savio Vega return, Carlito return, which led to him re-signing with WWE. Great moments for Damian Priest. I mean, the first championship defense that Seth freaking Rollins had for the world title was against Damian Priest. And then out of the blue, I mean, he was my pick during the Money in the Bank match to win the Money in the Bank. It was my pick. And he won. This is perfect for him. I feel like Cody's going to take it. I think Cody defeats Damian Priest. This doesn't do bad for him at all. Damian Priest could lose this match and still be Undisputed Tag Team Champion as well as Senor Money in the Bank. But I feel if Cody defeats Damian Priest, I feel like we're going to cash in on that Money in the Bank contract. Just saying. I think we're going to get that. And that's going to be phenomenal. My thing is, some people think it's going to be Seth freaking Rollins that he's going to cash in. I mean, he's leading that up. He's leading that up to be, he keeps getting in the face of Seth freaking Rollins. They're doing this little manipulation between Seth and Drew on whoever becomes world champion. I mean, it's looking like that. And it'd be great if he become WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But something tells me like we're getting a misdirection, and we might be going the route of Roman Reigns. Possibly. You never know. So it wouldn't be surprising if that's what we get. If we get that, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Because he'd be over there in SmackDown and they're just taking over Raw and SmackDown together. And that's one way to make everybody go crazy. So I got Cody Rhodes defeating Damian Priest, as well as Damian Priest cashing in on one of these world championships. Moving right along. John Cena versus Solo Sikoa. Now, we saw this match coming, but are we really hyped about this match? Personally, I feel like they're going to give it to John Cena. I mean, he's been doing good on this run. I mean, the last couple of years of his run, losing U.S. Championship at WrestleMania to Austin Theory, and then losing 2 years before that at SummerSlam against Universal Champion Roman Reigns at the time. Yeah, I think they're going to give it to John Cena. They're trying to give him his best run before they start pretty much retiring his jersey. I mean, I feel like they should give it to Solo Sikoa. I mean, he's the only one that's going to, you know what? I changed my mind. On the fly. I changed my mind. I feel like they're going to give it to Solo Sikoa. Being the solo member of the bloodline, as far as, you know, aside from Roman Reigns, that has a match. You know, Jimmy doesn't even have a match. I mean, Jay ain't even part of the bloodline, and he doesn't even have a match. But I feel like Solo takes it. That would make it lead to Survivor Series. And we got a War Games coming in a few weeks in Chicago. So I think that's what we get. Solo Sikoa defeats John Cena, which leads to War Games over at the Survivor Series in Chicago. Moving right along. Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. I got Seth freaking Rollins all day on this one. I feel like we might get a return of heel McIntyre. I mean, he's very frustrated that his WWE Championship run was ruined by the piece of shit they call the pandemic. I do feel his frustration. I feel like he carried the entire company on his back, other than Roman. He was a defending champion. He was a defending champion doing his thing during the pandemic with nobody around, and his moment passed him by. I think I feel for him. It's a pretty big deal, but I feel Seth freaking Rollins is going to outsmart Drew due to the frustration, and we might get a heel McIntyre. Now, if we get a heel McIntyre, I feel like a Claymore kick is coming for Seth freaking Rollins, which could lead on to a possibility of a theory. Senor Money in the Bank. Moving right along. Roman Reigns, tribal chief, head of the table of the bloodline, defending the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against, happy birthday, LA Knight. LA Knight's birthday was a couple of days ago, and he's getting his shot. This guy is rising. Now, at first I didn't see too much of the potential. I mean, I seen in NXT, I seen a little bit going with the legendary Bray Wyatt, but it was like I didn't know where it was gonna go. I'm still a little iffy, but he seems to win the crowd. I loved his promo last week on SmackDown. Pretty much ruining the entrance of Roman Reigns and then fucking sitting at the head of the table. I think he did a great job. This was beautiful. No one's ever done it. But I feel like it's going to be a high-class match. It's going to be one of those matches where Roman Reigns' opponent is going to make him look bad, which would lead to possibly still retaining the title, but he gets his ass whooped during the match. I mean, that's where it's kind of been lately. You know, every defense that he has, people are just whooping his ass, but he's kind of winning, you know, which kind of makes him human. It makes him look human. He's not invincible anymore. So I got Reigns. So that's how we're going to do it. Crown Jewel goes down this Saturday. Saudi Arabia on Peacock. If you're outside the country, make sure you watch it on WWE Network. It's going fucking down. Now, we're going to dive into a little bit more deeper, right? Now that we got WWE out of the way. So, let's go one by one. Ric Flair just made his appearance and signing with AEW, which, I mean, I'm shocked, but I'm not too shocked. I mean, his Woo energy drink is now one of the, I guess, partners now with AEW. Cool. I don't know anybody who drinks it, but hey, I'm glad, you know, Rick is doing whatever he got to do. That motherfucker's a hustler. He knows how to make money. So, Sting's going to be out the door in the next few months. Ric Flair is going to stay multi-year now. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, he has a son-in-law, Andrade, who's there. Maybe even opens a door for Charlotte when she finished breaking the record of world championships that is tied between her father and John Cena. Maybe it leads way to Charlotte Flair coming over to AEW. I mean, it seems like that's the way to go. Once you're done with your WWE career, you come to AEW and save this fucking company, because as far as originals go, and we're going to get into one of the originals, it doesn't seem like anybody's carrying this company other than former WWE guys. I know a lot of motherfuckers want to say, oh, but they're also Ring of Honor, they were also Impact, blah, blah, blah. They were huge in WWE. You can go down the fucking list. You know what I'm saying? I mean, with Ric Flair, it's iffy. Depends on how you look at it. This guy, AEW, NWA, WWE, WCW, he was all over. He doesn't count. But you talking Edge, you talking Moxley, you talking who else? Bryan Danielson. You're talking Chris Jericho. You're talking CM Punk. I mean, or even Adam Cole. These are former WWE guys that were bigger over there. They had a better health care where they could come back 100%, after injuries. They're WWE guys, and they're saving AEW. They just need better stories, but whatever. So congratulations to Ric Flair, man. I hope he doesn't do any more in-ring performances. He's at that age. I don't want to see nothing bad happen to him. I just want him to make his money. Maybe do some management. I mean, he was doing great with Evolution, always in the corner of Triple H, Randy Orton, and Batista. He can still do it. He doesn't need to get into a match where he can win that 17th World Championship. No, don't cheat the system. Just stop. We don't do it. We already saw your last match. It was great. Did a great story. They did YouTube videos about it. I loved it. He deserved it. Moving right along, Bryan Danielson, injured fucking again. This guy is so injury prone. Audible bone. Where he just gets roundhouse kicked by Malachi Black. Okay. I'm starting to question these health plans that they got over there in AEW. Everybody's just getting injured. I mean, when was the last time we saw Thunder Rosa back? You know what I'm saying? And, Dr. Britt Baker's back is kind of jacked up, man. They should be taking care of her better. Moxley has been, concussion this, concussion that. It's way too sad. I don't think we don't need to do that anymore. But, hopefully he gets a full recovery. Wish him well. Mercedes Moné, I mean, seems like the moment is actually coming past her. Where the hell is she? I mean, I think I think they dropped the ball with Mercedes Moné as far as what they should have done. I think they should have, Saraya was AEW Women's World Champion. And AEW does a lot of partnerships with New Japan Pro Wrestling. And, Mercedes Moné in the top of the year fucking just made head waves doing it. I mean, she's been injured. She needs to get that shit back. I think they could have had a storyline there. Could have led to some Full Gear. Who knows? But, hopefully she's making a full recovery and she comes right back on point. CJ Perry, wife of Merle. She made a comment that she wants to be the GOAT manager. How do you do that? I mean, look at all the managers from we'll start from the top right now. Who's killing it? Who's got fucking a resume that nobody's ever able to accomplish? Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns, one of the GOATs. Brock Lesnar, one of the GOATs. CM Punk, one of the GOATs. And that's just fucking 3. We're not even talking about the rest of his career. That's just 3 in the last 10, 15 years. No, 20 years. 20 years. The last 20 years, these were the top guys. All world champions, breaking fucking records. I mean, you're not even close to Sensational Sherry. God rest her soul. Sensational Sherry really had a fucking, I'll just name a team and one superstar. The team, Sensational Sherri, the team that Sensational Sherri was managing, multi-time world tag team champions in the WCW, Harlem Heat, Stevie Ray, Booker T. That's phenomenal. As far as my top 10 goes, Harlem Heat is one of them. As far as tag teams go, they don't get enough credit as it is. They don't. And another person, before he blew the fuck up even better than what he is, but than he was before with the Rockers. I'm talking about the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, the icon, the main event. Sensational Sherri was in his corner. I mean, his legendary in-ring song, Sexy Boy, was technically performed by her first before he redid it. You're not even on that level. I mean, what resume do you have? You just got into AEW. You're already talking about greatest of all time manager. You got a long fucking way to go. Don't get me wrong. She's very beautiful, but she's got a long fucking way to go before she can actually do that. I mean, you need to build a resume. You need to build world champions. I mean, you had Rusev, your husband. And as far as you went, it was U.S. champion. Plus, your most viral moment is going to Brooklyn and getting your ass whooped by The Rock. Not you, but Rusev. You got a long fucking way to go. Long way to go. You know what I'm saying? Paul Heyman, Sensational Sherri, Bobby the Brain Heenan. What's another one? Oh, Jimmy Hart, the Mouth of the South. Those four, those are GOATs. You're not getting there. Not anytime soon. You couldn't even compare to their fucking resume. I already told you the three top for Paul Heyman. Sensational Sherri, I just told you the team and the legendary Shawn Michaels that she had in her corner, that she was in his corner. Who else I said? Bobby the Brain Heenan? I'll name two. And you're going to know who they are. Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, 16-time world champion. And peep this. Andre the Giant. I'll put a third in there. He goes by the name of Kurt Hennig, aka Mr. Perfect. You're not topping Bobby the Brain Heenan. Shit. He made even a fucking killer career as a color commentator in WCW. You're not beating that. Who's for? Oh, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Get the fuck out of here. He had the Giant. Other people know him as the Big Show. Right now in AEW, he's called No More BS, Paul White. First ECW, WCW, and WWE champion in history. First one. And his major client, he goes by the name of Hulk Hogan. Yeah, stop it. Before I get into my last subject, I want to make a segue to Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling just had their Bound for Glory pay-per-view. From what I hear, it was pretty dope. They had like major appearances from other people. Really, really killer event. And now they're gonna go to Vegas. I forgot what resort they're gonna go for their pay-per-view in January. But even though it's in Vegas, which I think that's what Impact Wrestling needs to do, they need to get out there. They're still looking like they're in the pandemic. You know what I mean? It looks like a fucking gymnasium that you're doing it in. You know, this is what I would watch highlights during the pandemic for Impact Wrestling during the pandemic, and they weren't, I can understand they were very limited, but now you're not. You can get out there. Everybody's open back up. Don't be afraid. But they just made the announcement after their Bound for Glory pay-per-view that they're going back to TNA brand, which means total nonstop action. Now, I love it because TNA I was the fan of. I mean, when they went Impact Wrestling, I was kind of dying down from it. But I remember TNA. They called they called their if you were ever at Universal Studios Hollywood, if you go to the park, because there's two parks, Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. So if you go to Universal Studios and you walk in and you go all the way down to the left, past the Shrek auditorium, Coliseum, whatever the fuck it's called, and you'll see this big stage. That's where they usually have the Mardi Gras performances. People who are performing. You could sit, you could stand, you can do your thing. Seen a lot of performers do that, perform there, like Pitbull, Neo, you can name it. But behind that stage is where they used to have the Impact Zone, and I got to be part of that. I got to see it. I remember Awesome Kong facing Gail Kim for the TNA Knockouts Championship. It was crazy. I think somebody got hit with a damn bottle or something like that. But that was around the time Jeff Hardy made the segue to TNA, and it was fucking killer. Everybody was going crazy. I saw a lot of fucking people backstage, but that's where the Impact Zone was, and they were killing it. So now they're gonna go back to TNA. My only question is, what the fuck is gonna be different? Please do not bring the 6-sided ring. That was awkward. Everybody as far as a performer goes said it was awkward, performing in there. It's not what they used to. They're used to the squared circle. Where you get this 6-sided, you're just trying to be too different. But I'm hoping that they get back to the way at the level. Or they have the potential to be, a competitor as far as, where AEW and WWE goes. They have the potential. They got the talent. You know what I mean? Everybody could be, everybody's there. You got your champions. I think they can do something. Sometimes they still do it with New Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, some people are even saying CM Punk may go to the segue over there. If they do, that'll be exactly what you need, because AEW, CM Punk was carrying that company when he came. So he'll be carrying it over there with some good stories, great promos. So you never know. I'm hoping the best for them. I hope we're gonna see something different when it regards to TNA. They still got to rename all these championship belts now, but we'll see. We'll see what Scott got cooking up over there. Now, at the end of our episode, we're gonna get into this. We're gonna talk about this one guy who don't get the fucking credit. Some people know him as the devil. Some people say he's your scumbag. I'm talking about current AEW World Champion MJF, who just broke the record as longest reigning AEW World Champion in history. And I don't think he gets the fucking credit. This guy's contract is going to end by the top of 2024, and there's going to be a possible bidding war, rather if it's Impact, soon to be TNA, AEW to match the deals, or even WWE. WWE has the fucking money. Not only do they have the money, but they have the people that he knows. He knows people that are in WWE. We're talking Jade Cargill, and we got his best friend, Cody fucking Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. One of the few people who are responsible for bringing MJF to AEW. This guy does not get that much credit. I mean, I think he does. I don't think he gets enough. To me, he is one of my all-time favorites, as far not only in just in AEW, in general. In general, MJF is fucking killing it. To me, top 3 people, top 3 superstars, top 3 competitors in the world. Not in just the organization, in the world. I put him up there, with Roman. I put him up there with Seth. He's the real fucking deal. I mean, look at his year. Fuck his year. Look at everybody he's facing. I mean, he did a great storyline with Chris Jericho. Great matches, 5-star matches. He did a great storyline with CM Punk. I mean, his promo, 20-minute long promo with CM Punk was huge and big viral. Like, I don't even know how viral he's considered, but it's huge. It's fucking huge what MJF did with CM Punk. Now look at his year. Look at his year that no one's talking about as far as world champion goes. If it's all said and done, he drops the AEW championship, come the bidding war. He is already faced Jon Moxley, beat him for the AEW World Title. He's defending it. He's defended it in a Iron Man match against Bryan Danielson. 5-star match. He went to Vegas at Double or Nothing to face 3 of his peers, who are all 4 of them are considered the 4 pillars of AEW. I'm talking Jungle Boy Jack Perry, who was Christian's protege. I'm talking Darby Allin, who is Sting's protege. I'm talking Sammy Guevara, the Spanish God, who was Jericho's protege, and MJF. In a fatal 4-way, he was able to show how well he is by retaining the championship. Then he went to main event AEW All In London, in Wembley Stadium, against his best friend and Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship teammate, Adam Cole. He retained the title, but he was the main event. He was the last motherfucker to come to the ring. The very last. And to me, he had the top 3 entrances. Probably best at All In. Right? He's finding a way, with Adam Cole being injured, he's still finding a way to defend Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles as well as the AEW World Championship. He had a incredible story and 5-star match with Samoa Joe. He just got done having a 5-star match with the Bout Machine, Kenny Omega. Crazy. And he's going to go to Full Gear at the Forum in LA to defend the AEW World Championship against the Switchblade, Jay White. This is all said and done. Look at all these competitors he's given a shot to be incredible. I mean, imagine if Will Ospreay was here in AEW. That would be another person that can do a great promo with him, because they don't give Will Ospreay his fucking due as far as promos go. This guy's phenomenal. I think he's one of the top 5 newcomers coming into. I mean, he's not a newcomer, but as far as getting the recognition goes, he's one of those that's coming. So get ready. But MJF is like not getting the praise that he should with all of these competitors that he faced. And peep this shit. We are getting a December pay-per-view from AEW. They're not even announcing that fully. They don't even talk about it much. But it's at the Nassau Coliseum in New York. New York is getting their pay-per-view. So you're going to go from Full Gear in LA at the Forum in November 18th to go right into December to the East Coast, New York at the Nassau Coliseum for AEW World's End. MJF's hometown. He's the world champion. That's interesting. So many things that could happen. He could drop the belt, get screwed doing it. He can retain the title, stay with AEW, get a lot more praise, get his hometown crowd, do his thing, because now you got a babyface MJF being world champion coming to the Nassau Coliseum. Or you can have him retain the world championship, but do a CM Punk and hold that motherfucking title hostage during the bidding war, and pull a Medusa / Alundra Blaze, take the fucking world championship and just throw it in the motherfucking trash. That would be phenomenal. But that's just my theories. But that's all we got today on Wrestling Talk. I'm your boy Jax. This is the Drop That Podcast. You can find us on youtube.com/@DropThatPodcast, as well as you can see us talking our shit, rather if it's wrestling, hip-hop, boxing, MMA, film and television, it doesn't matter. I go on X, formerly known as Twitter. You can find us on DropThatPod_13 on X. Talk that shit with me. I dare you. Debate me. Let's go. Know your shit. Do your research. Do your Googles. But let's chit-chat. Let's have some fun. But I'm your boy Jax. This is the Drop That Podcast. See you on the next one. We out.